Yo, I didn't want to come on and do another live review, but the news was pretty shocking. But to be honest with you, I'm going to remain positive for Xbox because they are still in the positive profits. Okay? So, gamers out there, don't freak out. We just came out of an amazing showcase with Xbox with a lot of great games coming out and blip from PlayStation really, right? Because we don't even know the roadmap of PlayStation. As I've alluded, Xbox is very transparent and clear when the games are coming out. They do a weekly show on YouTube, which I do watch of all the games that's being progressed. We don't see much of PlayStation, online besides the tweets that they send out. Although I'm a big Sony fan, I love their products, and I'm a beloved PlayStation 5 owner, and I do back both consoles and both companies. But we received some bad news. I'm going to start with the doom and gloom out of Winnipeg. Ubisoft decided to close its Winnipeg shop, canceling 65 jobs. And, this was a little bit shocking. As you can see, I just saw this on Facebook actually today. Pretty dire days for Ubisoft as they're restructuring also. It seems like since COVID, all these companies have been restructuring from year to year, and it's no doubt that the shareholders of Ubisoft had made this call, and now we don't have an Ubisoft in Winnipeg anymore. So 65 people need to find new jobs, and this is pretty sad. You know what happens in the gaming industry right now with the ebb and flow and the market uncertainty of AI and everything with the open AI and with the data centers, with RAM prices increasing, for hardware getting impacted and everything else. And maybe we'll see some stabilization in 2027 or some new players coming into the game as suppliers. All right, so, I wish Ubisoft my best and the people in Winnipeg who got laid off as well. My heart goes out to you guys and girls as well, finding new jobs. So back to Xbox and what happened with Asha Sharma and the news that broke out of Bloomberg and Reuters that Microsoft considered cutting Xbox off entirely and making it easier to sell, report says. Now, as you know, Microsoft owns LinkedIn and GitHub, and it's operated as a private subsidiary too. I don't think, that Xbox is going to go anywhere. Under her days, I would give her some time. I think she's an excellent leader, and so was Phil. And I think we need to give some time for Asha to put her, stamp on Xbox and set her own footprint to making them the best number one, media center in the world, as a Xbox should be in a competitive atmosphere against its competitors of PlayStation, Nintendo, and Steam. Xbox can one day become number one. It's just going to take some time. And I think we should give Sharma a little bit more credit. I think she has a lot of experience. She sounds very professional in all the interviews. So did Phil. But I mean, Sharma, I think we need to give her some more time to get her footing and see what the next 100 days is, because as she said, hardware is going to be more expensive. If we can see some stabilization in 27, then the Helix will be, lower price. So will the PlayStation 6. We'll go back to market stabilization with the RAM crisis. And, I think Xbox, because it's profitable, but not the same margin as Microsoft, $200 billion in profit. Xbox, as Digital Foundry said, the line's going a little bit lower, but they can go back up in time if they keep on creating great games. And now they did player's voice. So they're in tune with players and developers on an app, so they can speak to each other on what fans want for games, what fans want for hardware upgrades. As I put, my biggest quo, I think, with the Xbox is that I can't plug in a microphone into the Xbox and get sound when I'm recording games on Xbox. And I have to do it through Adobe Rush if it's two parts, to do a manual voiceover. So that's what I'd like Xbox to do, make that adjustment for YouTubers, right? Like me. And then a lot of gamers would like this too, because then they can just plug in a mic and then chat with their friends with Party Chat instead of using, the controller so much, as an inlay. You can use the actual console itself to do the things that I want that PlayStation does well, right? So that's my take, is that don't panic. Don't freak out. You know, it's an ebb and flow what's happening and a lot of drama. This belongs more in film, not in the gaming industry. So I'm staying positive. I think Xbox is on the right roadmap. I think their goals that they're setting out right now with Asha's vision is the right one. And to be honest with you, I think, you know, we should just stay. There may be some layoffs, and that's the nature. We haven't been, you know, not attuned to this being a case this year and last year. We had a lot of layoffs in the game industry. Month after month, we had layoffs and restructuring, as we just saw Ubisoft closing its doors in Winnipeg. So it happens. It's business. And when they're not making enough profit, this is what happens. My cat's even making noise, you know? He doesn't like it. So this was a special report from me. And I just wanted to rest today, but I just want to assure that the gamers that all is good in the universe of Xbox, that it's internally just being discussed right now because of what's going on with EA, with the Saudis buying and wanting to get into the game arena. And now we see, you know, all the publishers getting into the game arena, like Paramount's getting in, Netflix, Amazon, they're all going to be pushing out content to us. So just stay positive. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks with Xbox. Nothing, you know, official from Xbox, just internal memo of a reset and a restructuring like every company is going through. And this is Matt from NGG Canada. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and thanks for watching.